Rowing the Charles, running Heartbreak Hill, and golfing at Granite Links. All the activities that put the great in Greater Boston. With its stunning skyline view and top 100 best in America rankings, Granite Links is a must-play destination for golfers near and far. The course and restaurants welcome visitors, or become a member and enjoy full club privileges. To experience the best in the U.S. right here in Boston, visit Granite Links, or to learn more, visit granitelinksgolfclub.com.
Back here again, the breeze is flowing. Welcome to Steele Nazz, brought to you in part by Hedge Better once again from our headquarters in Braintree, Massachusetts. Tonight we have the program director of 98.5 The Sports Hub, Quincy's own Rick Radzik, coming on the show, telling his career path, from the beginnings in sports media, learning how to be a man in the heart of Wallaston there, balling up at the mound, playing with his boys, and, being the leader of Boston's #1 sports radio station. I mean, if I called him the leader, he'd probably be humble and say he's not, but, the way he told us, I thought it was a tremendous interview in terms of, them going to the Super Bowl all the time, his path to get there, his relationships with these people, we see on talking radio every day. What do you guys think?
Right, when you said that, but when you talked about the leader and you talked about how his humbleness, when he was describing his day-to-day operations, he was just naming every single person in the operation.
Yeah, like he walked through the entire thing.
He's like marketing, writers, guests, advertising. Yeah, exactly. He runs the show. So.
The guy.
Shout out to Rick.
Afterwards, we'll have our Pats talk about, me and Steele here, we're on the grind of the Pats win over the Chargers. Well, everyone kind of took a seat behind us taking the Chargers. And we'll give you our picks for their game against the Carolina Panthers this weekend and the rest of the Week 9 matchups. Then we'll talk about the struggles of the Celtics in 8 games in. Is it time to blow the team up? And finally, we'll have our picks for UFC 268 this Saturday that no one honestly really cares about besides Steele because he's actually leaving Quincy for the first time in 10 years. Here we go.
Such an unnecessary cheap shot.
98.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
It's a legit giant supercard.
It's like,
you sound like a jackass.
There's like 2 title fights. 3 underdogs.
Yeah, wow, Nazz, I'm just a fucking asshole.
Up on Nazz tonight.
Good, let's go.
We're gonna gangbang.
Have at it. 98.5 The Sports Hub here. Ricky Radzik. Let's go.
Ricky.
We're now joined by program director from 98.5 The Sports Hub, Ricky Radzik, Quincy Mass native. Always great having Quincy guys on here. How you doing tonight? I know, the full sports and full swing here, including, the Revs having such a great season. I see your hat there. Just how's everything going, with, the work and just things like that?
Yeah, well, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. Things are going well. We've got all 3 teams going now. We got a little bit of normalcy back and people playing in the seasons that we're used to them playing, the Bruins and the Celtics, and, the Patriots were able to have somewhat of a normal season last year. So it's been good. It's been interesting to see the transition and what the Patriots are doing. Hoping for a good season for the Bruins, and the Celtics obviously have been making some news this week. So for the talk radio people, that's always a good thing. We like drama, that's for sure.
You're getting content there, my friend.
Yeah, and obviously the Revs, they're playing well. They're probably going to have at least 2. Well, every game will be at Gillette in that MLS playoff format. So they could be playing for the MLS title in December at Gillette. And should be interesting.
Yeah, really interesting to see, too, like the guys from the Patriots supporting. I saw Judon today. I think he had a sweatshirt on. All the guys were in hats, so it's kind of cool. I haven't really seen any.
Oh, well, the Revs have started the marketing campaign. They're getting the new gear out to everybody. So, yeah. We all wear the free stuff. We all wear the free stuff. If it's free, you'll see the sports radio people wearing it. Food and clothing. Yes.
For sure. Awesome. So I'll kind of bring it back to, the beginning of, your career and stuff. So growing up in the city of Quincy, what kind of drew you to the idea, of working in sports, particularly like radio and behind the scenes and things like that?
Yeah, I know you guys. You guys are all, I assume, in your mid-20s, probably somewhere in there. So, unfortunately, I go so far back that I started 34 years ago in the business. So, I was right out of college. But yeah, all 3 of you guys, you're all Quincy guys, right? You all grew up in Quincy. Yep. Yeah. So, you get an idea when you grow up in the city of Quincy. There's a certain work ethic that kind of comes as soon as you get going, and where you grow up in your neighborhood and your friends and all that stuff. So obviously sports was such a huge part for all of us growing up in the city in the 70s. I was always around sports. So, but I also somewhere along the line got, an interest in audio and audio boards and things like that. So I wasn't really sure what direction I wanted to go in. I ended up at Emerson College in 85, 86, 87. And I just happened to do an internship when I was at Emerson in 86. And that was the year that the Patriots lost to the Bears in the Super Bowl by about 150 points. So from there, I graduated Emerson, a job opened up. And in those days, WEEI was actually a news station. It was an all-news station, but they had, there was an all-news station. It was on the 44th floor of the Prudential Tower. I took the one shift they had open, which was 3 a.m. till 11 a.m. It paid crap, but it was a foot in the door. And it just so happened that they had gotten the rights to the Celtics broadcast that year. So I got to know Glenn Ordway pretty well.
Oh, wow.
And
nice.
Yeah, and then started working. I don't want to bore you guys. I don't want to go through the whole chronological, but I'll tell you that, Glenn was a big part in my trajectory because I did the Celtics. I ended up going on to the Celtics broadcast for a year in 89 and 90. In the middle of that season, WEEI was still news. There was talk of us flipping to sports. And then they ended up getting the Boston Bruins rights. And Glenn had asked me near the end of the Celtics season if I'd be interested in producing Bruins games, which I said, I'm 25, 26 years old. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I didn't even
absolutely.
know I'm not going to say no. I was a huge Bruins fan.
Mm-hmm.
And it took over the Bruins broadcast in 90-91, and we flipped over to sports on WEEI in 91. And did that for a few years, working with Bob Wilson and Johnny Busick. And prior to that, working with Johnny Most and Glenn on the Celtics. And just, from there, I went over to BZAM with the Bruins because they flipped over to BZAM. I stayed at BZAM for 15 years, handled the Bruins, some of their night programming, did all their remote broadcasts. And, Sports Hub was launching in 09. And Mark Hannon, a good friend of mine who's now over at WEEI, called me and said, listen, we might be doing this. Would you be interested in coming over? And I left BZAM on August 5th of 2009, and we launched the Sports Hub of August 13th of 2009. And and that was it. We've been going ever since.
Yeah. So how did that process begin of, we've had Beadle and Felger kind of come on and tell their story of how they got involved in 98, the Sports Hub. I know, would you say Mark got you into it, but what was the beginning stages of, I think this is actually going to work, because it's one thing to put a radio station together. It's another thing to, get the job done. And, you see how far it's grown today.
Yeah, literally put it together.
Yeah. I think for Mark, it started, they had the legacy station at WBCN, and they were definitely going to do something. There had been talk over the years of other stations thinking of going sports. I remember when the Red Sox were pretty close to signing with back then WBOS 92.9, and there was some talk of maybe Glenn going over there. So the rumors had kind of been out there, but Mark had called me, and then I met with Mike Thomas, who was the program director at WZLX and was the program director at the Sports Hub. Yep. So I met with Mike probably in July, and we went over, and they were, when I look back on it, it was really, everybody was flying by the seat of their pants, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to make that move. I just wasn't sure. But after talking to those guys, they were looking for an assistant program director. Mike had a lot of music background. He programmed a lot of the rock stations and was programming ZLX at the time. So they thought maybe, with my sports background and my work with the Bruins and Celtics and a lot of the broadcasts I did, at the Garden and at Fenway over the years, that would kind of help Mike out. And and then the whole thing took about a month. And when we started, I can't even say we didn't know what we were doing. We had Toucher and Rich, which was a staple, and those guys had their audience. So they were known, but everybody else, even Mike and Tony, they were known, but they weren't, known as main hosts.
They
And
were beat reporters. Yeah,
know what they are
weren't
today
hosts.
by far anyway.
I mean, they had names in the industry, and they obviously appeared on the big show. And obviously, Tony was so connected with the Red Sox, and the Red Sox had that incredible run in 03, 04, 07, 08. So, and Mike was kind of labeled as the contrarian, the guy who just is going to say the opposite of everybody and just to say it. And so, everybody kind of got thrown together, and we started to piece things together and who fits where. And I mean, Beetle probably told you he wasn't on Felger and Maz when we started. I think Beetle was doing nights when we first started.
Yeah, he said nights
in weekends. And so it took a little while outside of Toucher and Rich, and Zolak was there with Gary Tangway to start. But I'm talking about behind the scenes too, producers and headline guys and all those pieces. Hardy kind of was the one mainstay from WBCN that stayed on. I think he was one of the only on outside of TNR, but Hardy stayed on, and he became a part-time employee. I mean, he was the afternoon DJ at WBCN. And, that got taken over, and he comes over with us, and he's doing part-time headlines. I didn't even know Hardy. I don't think any of us really did, because, he was doing the rock, and the rest of us were kind of at other stations and doing other things, and mainly sports. So, yeah, it just kind of all came together like that. And it took some time. I mean, we didn't come flying out of the gates, I can tell you that. But over time, we started to make some waves, and being on the FM signal helped. I stayed on the AM signal for a couple of years there. And, I will tell you guys this. I think one of the things that we really vested in, and this was a conversation, I remember having this conversation with Felger and Mike Thomas, a couple of the other guys. We had a lot of Bruins guys, and we felt when we started that hockey really wasn't getting any play on WEEI. I remember Glenn on the big show, he used to do we're going to do hockey talk for 10 minutes, almost not mocking the game, but they didn't know how to talk hockey on WEEI. And we felt that Bruins audience was craving for a place to talk hockey and hear the games on FM. And so that really helped us. Obviously we had the Patriots and Bruins broadcast when we started. And to start, anybody starting a sports radio station today, I would say, I wouldn't start anyone without having a team's rights, because it helps lift the entire station, sales-wise, ratings-wise, especially if the team's good. So we start with the Patriots, and we had the Bruins. And, within 2 years, the Bruins win the Stanley Cup, and then everybody's talking Bruins.
Wow.
So
you
that
got
worked
right
out.
there. Yeah, that worked perfectly. The rise of stride.
I just find it very interesting. You find a specific, how can we be better, but also different from the rival sports station in town. And then like you said, with the Bruins there, and you really caught your niche, and things started to come your way with the Stanley Cup and things like that of, taking over at least the ratings, 1 year at a time. That's the way at least it's come out. My next question was kind of spinning back a little bit earlier in your career with like Celtics and seeing the Bruins all the time and things like that. What are like the most favorable and like moments you've taken in, just whether it's producing a radio telecast or something like that, or seeing a specific game or big play, or just a big moment that you saw that you really look back now and like, wow, I was there, and I got to experience that whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them, guys, and I've been very fortunate, obviously, and I've never really, taken that for granted. I've been to 10 or 11 Super Bowls broadcasts, and obviously the Patriots being in whatever it was, 5 or 6 of them. And, when I used to go to the Super Bowls, people, you go to the Super Bowl, but it's to do it right and to make it sound good. It takes work. I mean, you have to put the work in, and you got to put the hours in, and you got to have people who really care about the product and invested in it. So obviously been very fortunate to see some unbelievable games. Obviously the one that really stands out, because I was standing right there when he scored the overtime touchdown, White, was the Atlanta game in Houston. I mean, none of us had ever seen anything like that before. I mean, to be there and to be on the field near the end. And you kind of just knew once it went into overtime that they were actually going to win this thing. So that, obviously that was right up there. I mean, Bird's game against Indiana, I remember working that broadcast where he smashed his face on the ground and came back and scored about 20 points in the fourth quarter to knock out the Pacers in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
The Bruins Toronto game where they were down 4-1.
Oh yeah, that's a
2013. I could say that might have been the loudest I've heard the Garden. And I've been to the Garden since it opened and was at the old Garden working games in there too. That night, for some reason, was so loud, especially when they tied the game and they took the intermission before overtime. The crowd never sat down, and they were just cheering and singing. It was almost like they knew, the Bruins are going to win this game. So that was a great one, and I'm probably forgetting some because over time, a lot of them have run together, but. I mean, it's been a great, experience and a privilege to kind of do this and, kind of work way up from, making nothing and getting up at 3 a.m. and, trying to work your way through the industry. And so, I've been very fortunate, but, like I said, I don't want to list all the, there's a lot of them, but those ones really kind of stand out to me as like, really memorable.
So from your side as a producer and stuff, how Super Bowl week for you? It's obviously stressful for the players and all that going into the Super Bowl, but what's it like for you guys on that end?
Well, I mean, the Super Bowl, especially when the Pats were in it, I would handle mainly all the logistics, the travel, broadcast locations at the stadium, broadcast locations at Radio Row. We were doing bar remotes and Patriots rallies at various bars in these cities that really became a huge thing. I mean, we did one at the down in Houston. We must have had, the place held 1,000 people, and we had to have had 1,000 people in there for 4 hours, and there must have been 500 people standing in line to get in.
Yep.
So we kind of started that. And then, the credentials and getting people in and the security. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts to the Super Bowls. Fortunately, with the Patriots, you get into a little bit of a rhythm because they were going every year or every other year for a while.
Routine now.
Yeah.
The hotel
guy. But you're in, we're in Arizona and, we're going, the show's 2 hours behind. So, T and I were on at 4 a.m. out there. We're going to 12 hours of shows, and then we're doing taping afterwards and things at night, and there's events at night, and then somebody's going to be back in the morning. So, and you're covering everything, and I think that is where we always really, put the time and effort in to say, we really want to bring a good product back to New England and the region. And obviously the Arizona one was in the middle of Deflategate. So that was huge. Mm-hmm. And, the whole Brady thing at that time. So that it was just, like I said, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that go on. There's a lot of things that, you got to fix, and, whether it's, internet connections or ISDN lines or broadcast lines go down, or this doesn't work and that doesn't work. And, it's a massive task, but we got a lot of good people. We got a lot of great professionals that have been at the station for a long time, a lot of great engineers and producers. And, fortunately we were able to make those work, the ones we did. Even just like back on the Super Bowl, because when you guys have like the all week, you guys are at one spot where everyone else is at. It seems like you guys have a, do you want to come on? Do you want to come on in terms of guests? Because you have people there kind of at your dispense that you wouldn't have like any other day. I don't know if like a popular ESPN guy is there, you have them on for a segment. Like, how involved are you in that? And, how does that kind of come to be? I'm not too involved in the guest part. Every show's different. Mark Capello, who's our Patriots producer, has been the guy that's gone with me. We always went, if the Super Bowl Sunday, we always flew to the city the Saturday, 8 days before. So we would begin the process of getting everything set up of where our locations would be that Saturday, Sunday. Then Radio Row starts really kicking in. We're all there on that Monday. And Mark, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, everybody's there and everybody's trying to sell something. So, you know, you want to talk to Richard Sherman. He's, you know, doing something for Doritos, and, you know, somebody else is doing something for some, you know, drink or whatever. So you kind of line all that up and you kind of work through it with the different shows. Fortunately, Felger prefers like one or two guests, so you don't have to worry about him too much. And the other guys really like to kind of utilize those guests and the former players and the current players. They're all coming through. But Radio Row has really, I mean, it's obviously with COVID, you know, we didn't go for the first time. We didn't go to Tampa. That was the first one we hadn't been to since the Sports Hub launched.
Oh, wow.
Just because of the restrictions, because there weren't going to be really any players there. So it didn't really make sense. Unfortunately, it would have been a great one to go to because Brady was because of the Brady angle and all that stuff. So that was a bummer. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just really kind of working with the various PR people and media relations people and the NFL Network and all those people that try to line that up Monday through Friday while you're there and kind of work in as many guests that are relevant. I mean, you know, you want them to be, you know, you're always looking for we always look for the local angle with us. I mean, that's kind of how we do it. Obviously, some big names we've had on, but you know, that's kind of how we handle that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. A little bit question on your personal career. So you got to the Sports Hub when it started in 2009. I think you were the assistant program director for about 10 years. I just remember the day or week when it happened, when you got the job as program director. There was a lot of people, you know, who came out to congratulate you, everything like this. I know it seems like you're a very humble guy and anything, but how great was that day for you? You have this long career and you've worked so hard to get to the point you are right now. How great was that feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it was, like I said, it was new and it was different, and none of us knew if it was even going to work. And we could have all been out of work in 2 years for all we knew. But, you know, anybody who stepped into that, I mean, everybody has a different story. Like Mark's story, the Beatles story was, you know, he started to get some on-air shifts at EEI. But it made sense for Mark, you know. You know, at the time, for me personally, it was just the decision was I had to believe it was going to work before I decided to take the position. And then obviously after I took the position, you know, it was probably the highest position I had ever had in the business. So it was a big move for me personally and professionally. And, you know, once it really started rolling and the momentum really picked up, it just never stopped. And, yeah, I mean, it's crazy that it's been 12 years. It's really amazing because, I still remember the first day like it was yesterday, you know.
Yeah, it's a testament.
Because we were so bad. Because it was so bad. That's how
No, that's all right.
We had a lot of mistakes.
It's crazy how you guys starting then, like the names you have of like Mark and Felger and all them, like they were all there from the beginning, and it's just grown so well into such an unbelievable. I mean, the Boston's #1 sports radio station. It's crazy. Testament.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I look. I think, you know, we came at a time when a lot of people were kind of getting tired of what was going on at WEEI. There was an opening there. We were a little bit younger at the time. We were on the FM signal. Our imaging was more, we had a lot of music. We were faster paced, you know, and again, I think Toucher and Rich had built a little bit of an audience, their morning audience at WBCN. So they came in with an audience base, and then they kind of, you know, did what they do and added these elements that people had never heard before, like Ask a Pink Hat and, you know, Drunken Bruins Recap and all of these incredibly creative, you know, ideas that geared toward the sports crowd, you know. And then, you know, we went through some changes on the midday with Zoe, but, you know, Zoe became this, you know, this real cult figure around the Patriots, and the Patriots' success was Zoe's success, and that helped him. And then when Gil and Gino retired, Zoe became, you know, main part of the broadcast. So that helped. And then, you know, Felger and Maz have, you know, just carved out that kind of show that they really it's compelling radio, and it's still compelling radio when they go on. I mean, people don't agree with what they say all the time, but I think that they've gained the respect of people, at least, when Felger started, and it was just, he was just the contrarian. But then I think people realized how much work he put into, to do a show and to make it sound good and to make it move and to make people think and to not be a cheerleader for the teams and all of those things. So it was just different, and I think people at the time were ready for something different, and I think we were able to capitalize on it.
Yeah. So in your role now, what can you tell us? Like, what are your day-to-day operations? Like when you say program director, we see all the guys who are on this show every day. What do you do that's behind the scenes that you can tell us?
Well, I mean, you're always communicating with the talent. You're talking with the talent. You're talking with the producer of the shows. You're kind of talking with the production director about imaging and different elements that go into each show. You're working with the sales department, who's always trying to figure out ways to get creative and generate income for the station and for themselves and for the company, while at the same time making sure it makes sense for the programming. Promotions and marketing, you're always working with them. The guys who write for the web, Ty and Matt and Alex, what's on the website, do we got everything covered and all those things. So you're really kind of overseeing the whole operation and trying to keep, the relationship strong and, keep the lines of communication open. It's an interesting industry, as you guys know. I mean, we're fortunate. We got a lot of good people, and we've kind of become very, very close. Even off the air, as friends in some ways. But we're still kind of sometimes you have to separate that a little bit when you're dealing with different things like contracts and things like that. Yeah. But you try not to make anything personal. And it's really kind of, you're dealing with every department, and dealing with budgets and working with we have 4 franchises. We have the Bruins, the Patriots, the Celtics, and the Revs. So, you're always in contact with the teams, and, sometimes they're calling because they're not happy with something that's being said on our air. So you deal with that. And sometimes you're dealing with them, and whether it's a joint charity venture like Pucks and Paddles, or Cuts for a Cause with TNR and different things like that. So yeah, it's a big responsibility, but you just try to stay grounded, and you just keep level headed and don't get too high, too low, and just figure out a way to make it all work.
And it goes back to the first question about Quincy. The Quincy toughness kind of seems like it's helped you throughout this job, and going through what you went through growing up. I feel like Quincy got it happened. Yeah, I think that it's funny. The guys at the station, a lot of the guys, they laugh about the Quincy thing because I think they kind of have seen it, and heard it from us. But yeah, look, I mean, when you grow up in Quincy, when I grew up, I mean, you were identified by your neighborhood, and you were identified by what playground you played for in the summer rec program. So, we all kind of came through that, back then. You were just surrounded by, whether it was your brothers or, I lived on Estabrook Road, which was a dead end street off of Fenno Street.
I live on Estabrook Road.
I mean, it was probably about 20. There was probably about. Yes, Mike bought the house next to the one I grew up in, but that street is probably 20 houses on it, and half was single family and half were 2 families. Now I'm going way back here, and this will give you an idea of what I grew up.
The McGeckrans were on that street too, right?
Who was?
The McGeckrans?
Yes, they moved on there. Yep. But I'm going back to when I was a kid.
Mulaney family.
When I was a kid. Huh?
The Mulaney family also.
I don't know.
Jim Mulaney.
Oh, Jim Mulaney. Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. They all moved in when I was older. When I was a kid, I think I was 8 or 9. The 1973 North Quincy High School boys basketball team. They went 24-0. They were the number one team in the state, and they lost in the state final to Catholic Memorial in the Boston Garden, in the old Garden.
Oh boy.
Three guys from that team were starters that lived on my street. That's three guys, that's three starters on one street from an undefeated number one team in the state.
Hell of a street.
Yeah, gold mine.
Right, and Eddie Miller was helping coach. He lived on the street, and two subs, Jed Phelan and Stevie, were on the team. There's like five guys just on the street. So when you're 8 and 7 years old and you're kind of around that, and obviously those guys played. Everybody played back then. Everybody played every sport. So you kind of, that's what you knew. So whether it was going up to Fennel Street Playground or just on the street itself and playing every other sport, and that was Quincy. And everybody, the Nazzaros were in Montclair. I mean, they got their own stories, and Adam Shore and Howe's Neck, and you can go to any one of those neighborhoods, and everybody will have stories about how they grew up and what it was like and how great it was. And yeah, it was definitely a part of that, and it definitely helped shape me going forward, because I think that Quincy, blue collar, hardworking, do what you got to do is always been there, and I think it was because we all kind of grew up in that kind of environment,
Yeah, even growing up, you say like what playground you play for. I remember just the Quincy recreation, wiffle ball tournaments, just things like that. There was always
rec basketball
a rivalry.
games.
We were always friends after the games, but in between, I just remember Nick Fury wanting to rip someone's head off. It was great.
Yeah, I have a golden wiffle ball. No doubt.
Yeah, we always loved playing Montclair because all they did up there was play stickball.
Yep.
So if you played them in anything other than stickball, you had a shot.
And plus, speaking for my family, no one was above 5'7", so you play basketball, you can run right through them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, sure.
My last question I'll kind of leave you with here is, kids listening, trying to get into journalism, sports talk radio business. What would be your first advice to them in terms of, even trying to get in it at all, in terms of how far you've gone with your career and how much experience you have?
It's changed. I mean, do the reps, do what you guys are doing, because it's changed. What's the farm system now? I mean, when I first started, it was rare to have newspaper guys on the radio. They didn't want to do it, Mm-hmm. Now, that became, they obviously the evolution of it is it's normal now.
You gotta do everything.
But beat writers and things like that, they weren't a part of it. So, there's so many platforms now. There's obviously the small radio stations don't exist anymore, where people can go on and do a local high school, show and things like that. But there's this platform, and this is where the next generation is going to come out of. You don't have to be. I mean, if you look back at I don't know if Felger told you this, but in 1986 or 87, the assignment desk. The sports nighttime assignment desk at the Boston Herald was manned by 4 people: Felger, Maz, Bill Simmons, and Paul Perillo. And they were taking in high school scores. That was their job.
Wow.
So they take those 4 guys that would take it. They were journalism majors at Boston University, and that's how they ended up. But I guess my point being, if you look now at the way that all the multimedia that's out there and how you can get your message out there and get your show out there, and TikTok and Instagram and podcasting, there's so many more platforms for it. It's just, how do you find that opportunity, or how do you get that to the next level? And I think at the end of the day, the cream always rises to the top. If you're good and you kind of make a name for yourself and you work at it and you kind of are hungry for it, you might find that break. But the only way to do it is to do it.
Yeah, try.
The only way to know anyone for you to know what your opinion is on anything is to give your opinion. Yep. So, if you guys love what you're doing here, you seem like you're enjoying it. I saw a few of the clips. It seems like fun.
Oh, it's all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just more like you're all local guys. So I think, like I said, local is always good, and then you start kind of, the the process of like looking around, asking around, making contacts, and you never know what can happen in this business. I mean, you really don't.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of seen. Like you said, like making contacts. Just the list we've come to have of people on the show. We still keep in touch with, and people. If we didn't do this podcast, then we would have never even talked to. And I think
a lot of them.
That's the brightest spot of doing this whole thing, and it's really great.
Yeah, I still have personal DMs with Johnny Damon back and forth on like a regular basis. That's like
I didn't hear what he said. What?
I said me and Johnny Damon have like personal DMs back and forth to each other. If I were to think about that 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I'd think
once you volunteer to babysit one of his 8 kids,
that's what they're talking about.
Florida, yeah, he'll help you out.
Yeah,
like I said, I think that obviously Barstool is a huge kind of platform for guys of your generation, and but again, I'm just talking Boston, even Northeast. Sports talk radio is local. Okay, like we could not air a national show up here. We could not air 24 hours of ESPN because that's just how it's ingrained up here. People care about the sports. We want them to care about the sports. It's a deviation. We've always said it's a deviation from real life. Okay, if getting upset about Mac Jones and passing rating or whatever it is, if that's the worst thing that happened to you that day, or that's the thing that upset you the most, that's a pretty good day.
Damn good day. Yeah.
Yeah. So you really keep it in perspective, but we care. Everybody cares. They care about the teams, so they want the teams to do well. I mean, we had an unprecedented run up here that is never going to happen again. I mean, we were in the middle of it. I mean, we launched and Bruins win and the Pats, start getting back to the Super Bowls and the Red Sox win. And so the Celtics get to some finals. So, we definitely rode that wave, but now, it's come down a little bit as to, okay, this is kind of what it's really used to be like. Like everybody's good. They're pretty good, and some are building towards something. And so we'll see. But as long as people up here still care about sports, which I always think they will, the local part of it for us is really the most important thing, because
I'm sorry. I was going to say that the cool part is you get like phone-ins too from people who are from the area, but they're calling them from like Florida, South Carolina. So you guys are getting more than just the Northeast part of it, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I mean that's the TV simulcast. Obviously, that goes down into different regions of the country, and obviously with streaming now, which is obviously again something that wasn't big 10 years ago, and now everybody's got this on their phone. You can listen to the station and. So that's dynamic has obviously changed too. But, just back to you guys, I mean, if I could give you, I'll just gotta give you one piece of advice because I always feel like,
awesome. Yeah.
I always felt like I found out early in this business, I really was not interested in doing anything on the air. I felt more comfortable behind the scenes. I felt more comfortable working with talent, hiring talent and hiring guys like, Andy Brickley and Bobby Beers and Tangway back in the 90s and Danny Roach. I mean, all these guys. And I kind of found like I felt like I had a little bit of a knack for, identifying talent, I guess, so thinking that this is pretty good. I would say for what you guys do, I think it's good to have guests and it helps you kind of make connections. But do a show with just you guys and don't have any guests. And whatever is going on or whatever topics are out there, whether it's, the Marcus Smart thing or Brady Belichick or whatever is kind of the, topic of the week of the day, you guys kick it around because that's what as a program director, that's what I'd want to hear. Like you can interview someone and just sit back and listen to the answers, but you don't really get a feel for who can do what and who kind of has a sense of humor and who has kind of, a good angle on this and who, what I'm trying to say? So
who's got the takes? Who's got the takes?
I'd rather know about you guys and your opinions than Bertrand's.
What do you want to know?
Okay. I already know all of his opinions. Yeah. So that would be, if you guys are interested in doing this or pursuing this, or you're doing it as a hobby.
Sure. Yeah, I definitely take that.
You know?
Yeah, that's. I love that piece of advice. Really appreciate that. Rick, again, really appreciate you coming on, and best of luck with everything. I'm sure there's a lot coming up your way with the Revs playoffs, the Bruins and Celtics underway, and the Patriots looking like they're getting in high gear now.
Yeah, bouncing back a little.
Yeah, we'll see. The Patriots, it would be nice if it would be a really great story if they're able to kind of get into the playoffs, even if if they're building towards something. If people believe they're building towards something and they like the quarterback. Who knows what Bill's future is in the next couple of years. But I think that I still think, even though the Red Sox did make a really nice run there, and I think it got people back into baseball there for that run, and that's kind of how it works up here. If you're winning and you become kind of a topic, and people get back into it, and then they kind of go back to their lives. And I still think football right now is still kind of the top.
Football
top dog right now. Yeah. And I think that the interest is going to be there for the Pats. But again, they're going to be in the same boat. If in 2-3 years they're still muddling around 500 and, not sure about the future, then it'll be a different story. But I think they have this year to kind of show like there's something pretty good going on. And that's good. It's good for everybody.
You never know. We could have
certainly good for us.
We could do the Boston way, have a Cinderella story. Mac Jones wins the Super Bowl this year, turns into another Tom Brady career.
Oh yeah.
The show goes on.
Yeah.
Hey. The show goes on.
Yeah.
That'll be our rocket. That'll be our rocket ship to the top.
And they beat Tampa.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What a storyline.
Yeah. Where's the show? Oh, it's in LA this year.
You guys will be drooling for
it's
those
in
kind
LA,
of ratings.
Yeah.
That would be a hell of a media row.
Our guys were out at the stadium last week. They said that stadium was phenomenal.
It must be wild.
Where was this? San Diego?
LA.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, I heard that stadium.
Yeah, it's in LA.
Had this jumbotron above it, like the infinity screen, I guess, is like unbelievable.
I couldn't imagine
the size of the
how
field
many different sections
like
there are too. There was I'd never seen that.
Yeah,
in the stadium.
it's insane.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting, and I think you're going to have the home team again. I think the LA Rams are going to do a Tampa.
Okay,
they're trying.
I think they're going to play this. I think they're going to play the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
Yeah, I just can't. You can't count out Tom. You can't count out Tom.
Who do you think? Who do you think they're playing?
That's the tough one because I don't know the AFC. That's why I feel like the Patriots.
Never know.
I mean, obviously,
I love it.
you guys are watching. You guys are watching the Chiefs, and it looks like okay. I mean, if he runs around and hits on a bomb to Hill, Kelsey, they do okay. But if he doesn't, there's not much else going on there. So I think obviously Buffalo. But I tell you, I'm not sold on Buffalo either. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be the team that really is the old saying is whoever's playing the best going in and kind of keeps riding that might be the AFC.
For sure. I love Tennessee too, but then you got Henry got hurt, so they're all blown up too. So that's a team that's off the list. Lamar Jackson has played pretty well this year. There's a lot of teams, like you said, contending, but once again, it's wide open.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, look at Baltimore. I mean, again, you're back to. I mean, they lost
injury bug,
their running backs. I can't name is it Brown? I can name one Buffalo receiver. So. I mean, I like them too, but I always feel like when the Ravens play a really good team, they're not the same. They do much better against the kind of middle, lower teams.
Yeah, beat up the little guys, yeah.
And then it catches up to them in the playoffs. That's kind of been the MO with them, and I don't really see anything different with them this year. So, again, if the Pats stayed healthy and these other teams are kind of, putting around and you never know. I just think the AFC is pretty wide open.
Yeah, they have an interesting stretch coming up too. Yeah.
Yeah, and Matt we trust.
But listen, you guys, I really wish you well. Feel free to keep in touch. We're always gonna look out for the Quincy people. You can't have enough Quincy people in this business.
Of course.
So it's always good. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Get your reps. As long as you're enjoying it and you're really trying to make it work, like I said, just do some shows with just you guys because that's ultimately what it is. The sports radio, it comes from friends just yelling at each other about sports. So that's kind of what the origin of it was,
Here, yeah.
So
And who's
Right, yeah.
who's your favorite radio personality on 98.5?
Can't answer that.
I don't think he
Who
can
is
answer
it?
that.
Yeah. Do you ever,
Oh, who was
just
it?
not your favorite person, but just favorite personality? Like, who's got the strongest character that like you think would bring in the most viewers, or like gets the most people like riled up in their own ways? Driving in the morning.
You mean currently or since I've been?
We'll go both.
Who's my? Yeah, I
Is it like a
Yeah.
favorite kid?
Yeah, so many to pick from, right?
yeah. I mean, if I say someone that
Yeah. Don't answer. Don't
I'm
answer.
sorry. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
and then if I say someone not at the station, I can't win there. So
Oh no, yeah, I don't think you
No.
can win anywhere on that question.
yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of there's a lot of talented people who do it different ways. I mean, I listen to various things. I think like Dan Patrick does like a great interview. I think he's a great interviewer. Sports talk radio is obviously different. So everybody, but I definitely I listen to everything. So it's hard to pinpoint what's the favorite. I just kind of listen for different reasons. Even I need a break sometimes from us.
Oh yeah,
Hopping on something for 10 straight hours. So
gotta mix it up a little, yeah.
That was a great
Yeah.
Belichick-esque answer. I like that.
You're right. Yeah, I just said something I said a lot without saying anything.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
That was Brady, not Belichick. Belichick
There
just
we
would
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll just
Great.
stare at you like a.
Yeah, Belichick would have just clicked
ball.
it off. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Rick.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Have a
Good
one.
luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you are looking to shed those extra quarantine pounds and get stronger, or you're an athlete looking to get a slight edge on your competition, we have the gym for you. Introducing Slight Edge Fitness and Performance, conveniently located in Braintree, Massachusetts at 101 French Avenue. With Craig Kelly, best in the business, Slight Edge is offering individual, small group, and sports performing training in a private gym setting. The Slight Edge trainers will be sure to get your heart rate up, increase strength, and help you reach your fitness goals with a customized program. Find them on Instagram using the handle @SlightEdgeFit or visit their website at slightedgefit.com and set up a free strategy session while you're there.
And that was, you heard it there first. That was Quincy's own, Wollaston's own, Ricky Radzik. Now, I love, like I said in the intro, love the interview, but, him giving us a piece of advice. And, we've been talking about this show on and off, and maybe I've been the one a little bit against it of, being yourselves and, not always having a guest on every week. We talked about it a little bit after, and, that seems like a good avenue to approach. And, when the program director of 985 The Sports Hub tells you to maybe to do something like that, maybe
fucking
you
do
should
it.
shut up and
Yeah,
listen.
maybe you should shut up and listen, Adam.
Hey, that's why,
Adam.
That's why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should be listening twice as much as
Listen
you can
to
talk.
it. Listen to it.
Good.
Hey, but
Also-
what a great interview. Good guy. Estabrook legend.
No,
Shout out
what
to the
about
Estabrook.
1973 Estabrook Road being the fucking best street on like
24 and 0?
24 0, just basically that street.
With the hey, wait, the coach lived on the street with 3 starters, 3 bench players. I think he was giving them steroids.
yeah,
Hot take.
that was
Very
probably
hot
pre-drug testing. So
take, for sure.
Great stuff. We will get right on to what happened last week in LA as the New England Patriots, with their first meaningful win of the year, with a 27-24 win over the LA Chargers.
Thank you.
Anton, obviously, sick night because he didn't want to come in because his picks were so bad last week. Big win by the Patriots. You didn't see their best game out of number 10 there in Mac Jones. Thought it was a phenomenal game in terms of how the defense came to play. And you know what? Adrian Phillips, since the day one he stepped into Foxborough, has been nothing but a great uproar for this team. And, his interception, which I think was deflected by the first one, followed by the game with the play of the game, which was with his 26-yard pick six.
that was awesome.
Seemed like they really made Justin Herbert, which, if you ask any NFL analyst, he's probably a top 3 quarterback that you want for your next 10 years of the future. They made him look like a guy playing youth football. I loved it. There was great parts of this game, and there was also the part of the game where you've seen it all year. The Patriots struggled quite a bit with fundamentals. Kendrick Bourne with the fumble.
Yeah.
Play call. I'll just keep going. Play calling on the 4th. It was 3rd and goal on the 1 yard line, and you throw 2 fade routes. The Jacoby Myers there when you run the ball up the middle.
When Josh McDaniels needs like 1 yard, his brain just crumbles. Like whether it's like down the field or like fucking
he
the
said,
1 yard
he said
line.
like an interview on Tuesday. He was just like, yeah, there's things I could definitely improve improve on, including like that call. And it's like, yeah, dude, we all know no shit. It's like, oh, when you drop a fly ball, it's like, my bad. It's like, yeah, we all know it's your
Yeah,
fucking
no
bad
way,
ball.
dude.
yeah.
You sure?
I feel like even in their successful seasons, the Patriots always kind of had iffy play calling. Like in random situations, it'd be like a 3rd and 15, like third quarter of the game, and they'll just be like, "All right, screen pass, quick dump off." Like,
oh yeah, he has
yard.
like 1 or 2 like full series like each game where it's just like, what are you doing, pal?
And
What are you doing?
on Mac Jones, definitely took a little bit a step back from weeks prior. But my big thing is if you're gonna go like 7 for 17 in your first like 17 pass attempts in a game, just don't throw a pick. And he didn't throw a pick, which is big. I'd rather you throw the ball away. I'd rather it be on the
100%.
ground than in the other team's hand. And I'll take that all day.
turnovers
That's
are
what
the biggest
that's what
deciding.
like they had like the same stat line except Herbert had 2 picks. That was like the big
that's-
difference.
that's the
what
difference
wins
in the game.
games.
Yeah.
Exactly, 100%.
And then on the everyone's getting the offensive line credit. You see here, I have a quick stat of Damian Harris, 23 carries, 80 yards at a TD without a couple holding calls. That's probably $150.
Oh yeah, he would have. Yeah, he was having a
with
day.
2 scores. He has been their best player on offense. I mean, I think that's definitely set in stone. I know Mac Jones has had a great rookie performance, but at the end of the day, they're gonna win this year on the ground. And I'll give Mac Jones credit. He made some throws down the stretch there, and they needed that field goal. Obviously, they only won by 3 to win the game.
Yeah,
And
right
we
there.
talked about that before the season too. Like anytime the Patriots had a really good Super Bowl run or a chance in the playoffs, they've always had a strong running back who's always had like just a dominant that year, and always kind of falls off after their main year though.
Oh yeah, no, he'll
can't
fall.
happen, yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of players in Boston
Sorry,
that
Michelle.
they put their hearts on the line. Like even Tim Thomas after the 2011 Stanley Cup win, like after that,
Yeah, that guy was 40 though. He was just ready for a couple beers and he was done.
he was just so on
he
his
moved
head.
to like an underground tunnel in like Idaho.
I think
So,
he
like,
just used like 98% of his energy reserves for the rest of his life.
Yeah, and he
So, yeah.
thank God he did. Legend.
Thank fucking God.
Love that
So
guy.
every week I always have like a different beef with every Patriots player. This one is, I think, the same week, and I think I talked about last week how, I think Jalen Mills is going to be a big part in this game this Sunday, and he was on the wrong end. Did you see when they were up 10 there, and the guy Herbert threw a prayer, and the guy just got decapitated by the receiver,
Yeah, he
and
got
then the receiver
annihilated,
caught it?
yeah.
I was like, oh, he might step in and, make up for that, CD Lamb wave. Just didn't happen.
that's so bad.
And
Didn't see
the
it.
funny thing about it is they have so many receivers that I thought they were gonna like just find a way to get someone open. And obviously number 13 there, Keenan Allen had a great game against. I think they had 6 receptions, 77 yards. Probably could have had more, but they limited him.
They did. It was a quiet game for him. It looked like, and then you saw the box score, and it was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
he did
it
that.
was a
He
quiet
was
game
quiet.
for
Yeah.
Williams there. He only had 1 catch, I think.
Yeah, he was
Who's been
locked
their
up.
guy all season. For me, the Patriots, they got the job done. They did things well defensively. But at the end of the day, I think this has a lot to do with the Chargers just sucking. I think this has they did not come to play. They didn't need this win at home. That was a big
Yeah, that's a huge game.
yeah.
And they're
That
a
brings
team
the Pats right back in it. The Chargers are now I think they have the last wild card. If it's season end today, they'd have the last wild card thing. But it's just every season the Chargers just I know it's a completely different team now than it was when the Phillip Rivers was the quarterback. But they always just seem to drop the ball whenever the moment's about to be the brightest.
It'll be
No, yeah.
fine. It's all because I went to a Boston bar in San Diego. I fucked up.
Well, you didn't streak
bought
after
it.
either.
Wait,
so
did you go to the
you're
PB
on my shit
Cantina
list.
on Garnett Ave?
Tipsy Crow
Ooh, good spot.
downtown.
Yeah,
Excellent.
you're on
Love
my
the
shit
name.
list though. You
Love
didn't.
the
I will go streaking. I was way too blackout. I don't even remember anything from this game.
Yeah, I
but
forgot.
I watched
Magic
it.
just
I
got
did
back
watch
from
One
the
thing-
Sunshine State of California. How was that, Magic?
it. It was excellent.
The Chargers also deserve to lose every game they don't play in the Powder Blues.
That's
They
true.
deserve every single
They got
one
way
of them.
too cocky.
Yeah,
Those uniform. I do remember those
Every-
uniforms.
Those are legendary.
Before
Not saying they're bad what they were wearing on but they're not the Powder Blues. If you're not
when
wearing
we used
those,
to play
you should be
Madden back in
fucking-
the day, I would always go to the Powder Blues.
Naturally.
You have to.
Phillip Rivers. Speaking of Johnny Damon
Damien.
and kids, I
Yeah,
think he's got like
yeah.
10.
Shout out Johnny Damon. A game. I'll be at the New York Marathon this weekend drinking A game.
Bringing
Don't
his
forget.
A game. Bringing his fucking
Bring your A
Before
game.
we spin it to this week's game, Matt, you got any California stories, or would you rather leave them in your back pocket?
I gotta keep them.
Give me one. Give me
Yeah,
one.
is the minute coming back? Is the minute
Yeah,
back?
can I? Yeah.
The minute is I drank like literally minute I landed actually on the plane, and I didn't stop until I got on that plane, took a NyQuil, and landed, and I was out like a light for a day.
Honestly,
I'm talking like nonstop. 5 days I put on a clinic.
California changed you though. I got a call. Magic was feeling pretty motivated on the plane ride coming back.
Oh, we had motivational, Mike?
I didn't call you on the plane right back.
You are obviously still drunk, I guess. Magic Mike came back. He was like, "I'm coming back into the studio with a vengeance."
No, I was
this week."
back. I was already back. At
Hey,
that
we
point.
might have the return of the Magic Mike minute.
Soon.
soon.
To end my talk about the Chargers win was if the Patriots did make those like mistakes there with not converting on fourth down, the fumble in the I think they only had like 9 points on 3 different red zone drives. You're probably talking about like a 20-point win.
Yeah.
Like
Lose
they
there.
probably would have won by 20, which is fine. But with this Patriots
win's
team,
a
with
win.
the team without my point there,
Win's a win.
Magic.
They're rolling hot now. I mean, as
Transition.
Rick said, he's calling them for the Super Bowl now. That's quite a change from 2 weeks.
I don't
ago.
know if he called. I think Craig called him.
No.
kind of agreed
He kind
on
of
it.
said. No, I said
I
who's coming
called
for the
it.
Super Bowl, and he was like, I could see the Patriots.
It's gotten to the point where like it's entering his head.
exactly.
Okay.
It's not like he picked them, but like
It's typical
coming.
Boston
It's coming.
mentality.
Yeah.
Couple
win a
programming
couple
directors
games.
fucking picking the Pats to go all the way. I don't know.
Have a cup of coffee, This week, big game. Could be the Stephon Gilmore revenge game as the Patriots head to Cam Newtonless Carolina to host to travel the 4-4 Panthers there. I'll spit it out.
yeah, you
Big
fucking
game.
idiot.
Another big game. Every game's big for going forward. Fuck off. Mac Jones, another opportunity to impress. Sam Darnold might not play. Who's the backup? PJ Walker.
yeah.
Who I would be more afraid of than Sam Darnold. I kind of hope he plays. Christian McCaffrey coming off the IR list. Not sure if he's going to play. When I first look at this game, it's a tough game to prepare for because you
Yeah.
don't know who's playing.
Right.
And the guy Hubbard
Prepare
has
like
played
they're
pretty
gonna
well.
play.
Yeah,
I would say.
that's the Bill way.
Honestly,
But
yeah.
who's this PJ Walker?
And it's
guy? Is
he's
he
a dual
rookie?
he's a dual threat kind of guy. So he'd be a
XFL
little,
MVP.
Yeah, he is an
Okay,
XFL legend.
That is scary.
Hey, if you play in the XFL, you got some balls.
Yeah, that's much scarier than Sam Donald.
Yeah, you can start the
Fuck
play
outta here.
full speed.
What I was gonna say was Patriots going here on the road. It seems like they have a chance to just string off some wins here. The only scary thing is I think J.C. Jackson has had an illness all week and hasn't practiced.
Yep.
He's a big part. That if he doesn't play, they're pretty low depth-wise on the cornerback side. I just think if they ground and pound against this team, it really should be no problem.
Right.
The spread is looking like 3. I think this is an easy win for the Patriots. But, it never comes off that way. If they just play mistake-free football, they fundamentally sound, not like they've been doing. But if they start playing that way, they're going to start not just winning, but blowing the brakes off some teams, including this team on Sunday. The guy, Matt Rule, that's his name, right?
Yep.
Win's a
Yeah.
win, though, now.
He-
We don't need blowouts.
No, but that game against the Jets was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's
50
fair.
points,
Yeah.
feed me. Feed me 50
Well, you
points.
like that just because you could make that video, which was a great video,
I
by the way.
mean,
But I
Hey,
mean,
at Naz, yeah, great video for the mashup. That kid needs to deserve
all
to be
right, I'll
milked.
give
You gotta
that.
spank
You're right.
him.
A couple
You gotta
blowouts is
spank him.
nice.
He needs
a
a
couple
spanking.
blowouts is nice.
For me, though, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to just have to shut down a quarterback who's not, Justin Herbert's a good quarterback. You're going to face a pretty shitty quarterback this week no matter who plays. So, I mean, shutting that guy down, really hope that, what's his name doesn't come back, Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
because-
that's the biggest deal, obviously.
But honestly, it could even be easier game playing because if you're just what Bill Belichick does the best is he takes out your best player.
Oh, yeah.
And if you take out the best player on Carolina, which is McCaffrey, they have nothing.
Yeah.
Like the guy DJ Moore, yeah, he's pretty good.
You're
pretty
doing
fast,
Bill a
pretty
favor.
nifty.
You're doing Bill a favor.
But one thing they do too, though, is like Bill Belichick in a way is like they know he's like that, so like they're gonna throw some shit with McCaffrey if McCaffrey's playing. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna have him over there, over
Yeah,
here,
the
over here, QB, yeah.
Hunting
like,
it.
I think that the thing I'm going to look for, obviously Matt Judon he might even be. He's a
Judon.
candidate for
Defensive player of the year.
player of the year.
100%.
Unbelievable.
I'm looking for more pressure in the quarterback. I'm looking for a quarterback to get the knock the fuck out this week. I want to see pressure
You want him
all
seeing
day,
ghosts?
all night.
Same thing. Like
I'm not seeing ghosts. There we go.
That's been the differences in our games is when we put pressure on the QBs.
It really is.
Like you
It's
can
that
clear
and the
indicator.
offensive line on the other end. If our offensive line plays average, what's his name? Harris will blow them out, which sets up for the play action game, which gets every single receiver coming over the middle open.
Right.
That's the way it sets it up. Yeah. And this is a real exciting team because the Tom Brady and the Patriots. They're going to go play the Jets. They're going to go play a team who's not that good. It's going to be a blowout. Yeah. But every game this year, I know they will beat the Jets by 40 the second game. You don't know. And I think that's the coolest part about it. Every game is going to be in there. Like you watch Sunday, I think my prediction obviously is they're going to cover the spread. But I think the Patriots are going to win this game by like 20 points.
Right.
That's just my head going in there. That's not even me being a Patriots fan. That's just the way I've seen it. I think the Panthers are a team who's trending down. I think the Patriots are playing better and better football every week, and their pinnacle is going to be towards the end of the season.
Agreed.
So I have a high ceiling. That the ceiling is just you think about our old studio, how it was kind of a low ceiling, and now it's getting higher and higher, and that's the way the Patriots kind of trended for me. They're trending up. The Panthers are trending down. I'm not going to look forward to next week because, like Bill said, we're focused on this week. We're focused on Sunday. But Browns are another team that's coming in next week. That's a trending down team. They have Odell Beckham problem. They've been losing games. These are teams that you just have to knock out. You have to put down early. And another thing, my last kind of rant here is Nick Folk. Knock on wood, probably the best kicker in football right now. The guy looks
knock on
like,
wood again.
The guy looks like he's
It's
just
a kicker. Knock again.
He's drinking like a 12-pack at the pub and then showing
Isn't he
him
the
at 1
greatest
o'clock.
kicker of all time?
Yeah.
I think he actually
he's on
has
his way there.
statistics for being one of the best kickers of all
his
time.
statistic was he hit the most field goals in a row in Patriots history.
Wow.
That was
Which is
his.
a staggering.
No, the actual real greatest kicker of all time. Well, Vinatieri's there, but the guy Justin Tucker in Baltimore is like sensational too.
Oh.
It is a great story of Nick Folk though, going from like a Jets loser to like a Patriots legend.
Yeah, and he was on the Bucks a couple years ago. He missed like three in a
Who
game.
was the guy that had a desk job not too long ago that just hit that like game winner? Some kicker in the NFL. It might be the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I forget it. I know the story. I forget the name of the guy.
Yeah,
though.
if you gave me like 7 guesses to guess the kicker on the
Like that's the guy I
Jaguars,
want to
not gonna
follow.
wait.
That's
But
the
yeah,
guy. I
mad
follow on
respect.
sports.
Mad
Yeah.
respect to that guy.
back on
I'ma
this
find
game.
you.
Starting our NFL Week 9 picks. Pats favored by 3 points. Who do you like, Steele?
Pats. I think they shut down that offense regardless of quarterback. McCaffrey, if he plays, probably breaks a couple, does something, maybe a red zone touchdown. I think they win like 24-27 to like 13.
Wow. Oh, I thought you were saying 24-27 for a close game. I was going to say
Yeah, like 24-13.
I like 10-21.
Yeah, something like that.
Pats are going to win by 11. Definitely going to cover. Same thing. If Christian McCaffrey's not going to win, I feel he's going to be a blowout. I don't know if we're going to play fundamental and not throw any picks this week, but I could definitely see a tight game. And like you said, trending up. Let's go to the moon.
Who do you like, Magic?
Gotta go Panthers.
With absolutely no analysis. at all.
No. The analysis is.
Love the logo.
I think
Blow 'em up.
my analysis is you guys are all hopping on the Pats' deck again, and they're still just a fragile baby team at times. Like
all right.
they can make mistakes.
Who invited Max Kellerman on the show?
He's entitled to his opinion.
They're a fragile baby team.
Okay.
But that's also with me not watching
we
them
get a
as
score
closely as you guys
prediction?
are.
Score prediction?
Score prediction. It doesn't matter what the score
No, it
prediction
At
does.
least you
No,
didn't pick
that's how-
Jets money
that's how-
line.
Like,
There's no way you
give
have
me
the worst.
24-18 Panthers.
18 points. That's
Ooh, that's crazy.
That's a ridiculous score. I love
3
it.
touchdowns,
You
3
ever heard
I love it.
Have you ever heard of scoregami? whatever they do on part of my
That's a
thing.
good one.
I didn't want to pick the score, but give me the fucking Panthers.
Yeah, 40-17's mine. They're going to drop 40 on them.
Jesus.
40-17. I'll
I'm
bet
in.
mine's closer than yours.
I mean, what do you want to bet? There's no milk here.
That could be.
Maybe we'll bet on Craig's next haircut.
Oh, there is a mullet in here tonight.
That's expensive.
Yeah, ladies, if you see Craig Showtime
go,
Hines, I mean,
let's
that
go
is
look at this.
Did you go into the barber and say, give me the Showtime?
Shout out to Dolo, right?
No.
Is that a Linsky cut?
But like, yeah.
This is actually, I actually cheated on Linsky this week. This is a Goodfellas. I was in a fly,
Oh my
and
God.
Linsky didn't have open spots, so
Ho 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 ho!
Well,
Scandal.
Sorry.
That's a
Don't
testament to
dump
Linsky for being such a good barber, for being fully
Hey,
stocked.
you know what they say? If you're too busy,
You're too good.
you're too cheap. That's enough
Charge
fact.
more.
Exactly.
All right, now we'll get down to our
'Cause I'll pay
NFL Week 9 locks of the week. And I'm going to go right out of the gate
Hey,
here.
lock of the week, Henry Ruggs the third. Bingo! And on that note, I have a date. I have to leave.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry.
This
You got a
mullet,
date?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
this mullet's not for everyone.
With what, a jail cell?
Have a good one, Craig. I'll continue on the Henry Ruggs thing.
Showtime, get in that camera just
my
so they
lock
can
of the
really see
week
that hair.
is actually they lost Henry Ruggs. Obviously, that was horrible what happened, what he did, criminal stuff. But the Raiders...
Criminal.
Yeah, that was criminal.
What do you mean?
He drove 156 miles an hour and killed
Yeah,
someone.
literally killed a person.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know he killed anyone.
Oh, no, it was
now
horrible.
I feel like an asshole.
No, it's okay.
I thought
should.
it was just really fucking.
No, he's gonna go to
Reel it
Which
in.
is still bad. I
Reel
really
it in.
shouldn't be
Reel
like
it in.
that.
Reel it
That's
in.
fine. So, anyways, we're gonna go. I'm going Raiders on the road without Ruggs,
Fuck.
without Gruden. 3-point spread. This is what you call a trap, people. But I'm going under that trap, and I'm getting mine. Raiders on the road. Book it.
Against the Giants, I was going to be mine. It really
Oh,
was.
all right, let it rip.
Big game. Big game.
For no reason.
Raiders look cool.
No, I haven't heard much about the Giants lately. I
They had a
didn't.
pretty good game against the Chiefs the other night.
Did
Played
they
pretty
win
well.
though?
No, they lost by 3. But
See, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see them. They're not. What's their record?
2-6.
Then I feel good.
Raiders-
Lock of the
Raiders
week.
are 5-2.
That's enough analysis
Lock-
for me.
lock it
That's
in.
enough analysis.
Lock
But
it
how
in.
that Ruggs guy is a big factor, though, is he not?
Not really. He's a dime a dozen.
He's not the good Ruggs. No, that's
no, he's
that,
a- no,
isn't
he
there
was-
another
he-
Ruggs.
he was a
in
vet- no, he was a-
Dallas.
No, it's Diggs. Corner.
Diggs. All right.
But no, Ruggs. He was a really good receiver. He'll never play football again.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
he's like
definitely
a
not.
rookie, too. Yeah, 22.
Who do you got?
We're going Chargers.
I saw
Minus
that.
1.5 against the Eagles. They're on the road. The Chargers, they've lost 2 in a row, but those 2 are close one to the Pats and the Ravens. So not two respectable teams. And the Eagles against teams with a winning record this year are 0-3 and average losing by 13 points. So
Oh,
I think
that's
Herbert.
good stat.
I
That's
think
good
Herbert
stat.
lights him up.
We got a call in?
Let's see if he wants to give us his block of the week.
Who are you calling, Anton?
Chargers again, minus 1.5.
There ain't no chance he's picking that phone up.
Okay, he's not picking up, so we will move on.
Rays
to
fan,
the
dude.
Sunday. Yeah, he's done. Sunday night, the
Jets money
Titans
line.
now without Derrick Henry are on the road against the best team in the league right now, the LA Rams, and the Rams are favored by 7 points. I'll start off here with Cooper Kupp, 924 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns. Best receiver of the league. When you lose the best running back in football, who's your whole offense in the Titans, they were my team to probably go to the Super Bowl at this point in the AFC. They're going to start trending down. This is going to get ugly in Nashville. At least the people are getting ugly on that downtown strip.
Dude, one of them lost Henry, the other just got Von Miller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, like Rams by $1 billion.
Yeah, I do think with their offense, I think the Titans might be able to figure it out a little, but they're definitely going to need a week or two to readjust their offense from Derrick Henry. Because they have A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. He's out, I think, this week. But if he comes back, they can do something there.
Nah, but the whole thing for me is,
But they got to revamp it.
Yeah,
Like,
no, you're right. Revamp it. But if you're just focusing on those guys the whole time and shotgun passing with Ryan Tannehill, that's not going to happen. If you have a running back who you have to play for,
How long is he out?
Who?
He's out for the year.
Henry, he's
all
done.
done.
He's done.
Oh, fuck.
But they just signed.
That sucks.
They did get
What I'm
Adrian
hoping
Peterson.
is that Adrian Peterson comes out
the clouds,
for his farewell tour and he just kills it.
I would love him to
I would
ball
love
out.
that.
I'd be down for that.
That'd be great. Who do you got? Titans, Rams.
Definitely Rams.
All right, there we go. It's another sweep.
You guys are killing it with the analysis. I just got to clean up.
Yeah, exactly. Clean house. Finish the job. Monday night, the Chicago Bears, who have kind of had a terrible season under rookie quarterback there, Justin Fields. 3-5 on the road against the trending up and down Steelers. Najee Harris has played a lot better behind Roethlisberger there. I see this as a team trending up at Heinz Field on Monday night. Beautiful Pittsburgh stadium there. You got Cowboy Tequila. You got the casino across the street. I think a lot of people are going to be putting at that casino, 6.5 point spread with Pittsburgh. I like this. I like the home team here, and I like them by a lot. I think this is a 14-point blowout. I think final score, I'm going like 21-10.
I think I'll have it like 24, like 17, a few more points than you. But like I agree, I would pick the Bears in this to cover if Justin Fields was playing better. But he has just been so bad the past couple weeks that there's just no way.
Unless he can run for a touchdown, he's done.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think he'll be able because the Bears defense isn't what like you would expect the Bears defense to be. And I think
the Steelers defense
they'll be
is
able,
good. That's my point.
And they won't get the points, but the Steelers' offense has been a little.
Yeah, no, just watching them play Tom Brady like 2 weeks ago, that was the most pathetic game I've ever seen.
Yeah,
that was like Tom Brady was just like, "Hey, do you want a piece of candy?" He's like, "You're not getting it."
Yeah, get fucked. But yeah, no, I'm taking the Steelers. I think. Yeah,
You're going sweep Steelers.
I don't want to. I want to go with the Bears.
Okay,
I do, and I will. I will. Justin Fields redemption game.
Yeah, I can't do it with Fields. I can't do it yet. I can't do it.
I hate to hear he's doing that bad, but the guy's got to pull one out of his ass, and why not against fucking Big Ben?
Yeah, no,
why not?
Still a Fields guy for the future.
Is
though. I
Nagy
think he'll
still
be all
out
right,
with
but
COVID?
it's just, he's struggling.
who is it?
Nagy, the coach.
Nagy will be back. Nagy will be
fuck.
back.
Well, that's an issue, or maybe it isn't.
Transitioning from our NFL picks, we have our call of the week this week. Hey, Jay Nazz, you're on the show right now. Hey, my cousin James Nazaro.
Let's go.
I'll do a little explanation. He's been training for about a month now. He's going to run the New York City Marathon on Sunday, November, whatever that date is. So I just want to know how you feeling, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. It was 42 days before the marathon. That's when I got noticed. So I started training 42 days before. The legs are a little sore, the back of the knees are a little sore, but my body, I feel great, man. There's no way I don't finish this thing.
Fucking warrior.
You can hear it in his voice.
Let's go, Steele.
Let's go.
Still, I can't wait to hear your voice as soon as I fucking finish, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely, buddy. Absolutely.
What's your favorite mile?
The fucking next one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't miss that one.
Have you looked at the weather? What's going to be your most favorite part about this whole thing?
Dude, it's funny because it started out I got the free bib, and when I heard that, I was like, you can't pass up this opportunity. You have to have a crazy qualification time to get into the New York City Marathon, and I'm waltzing in like I own the joint. I'm not even a runner. And dude, so at first, right, I was like, all right, let's see what I can do. I ran the 2 miles the day I announced it. I almost died. And then I just started climbing, and I got up to 10 miles. I did a couple half marathons on my own, not registered ones. And then I did the 20 miles to 17 miles. And then it's been crazy because it's been a lot of fun, and I've been having fun on social media. But then this week, it really hit me how big the New York City Marathon is, man. It's one of the most prestigious marathons in the world, dude. There's
Don't fuck it up.
Oh yeah, it's right up there.
There's going to be 50,000 runners. There's going to be millions of people in New York. So I'm like, damn, man, this is pretty crazy. So yeah, exactly. Don't fuck up.
Yeah, lights are going to be on, brother. Lights are going to be on.
Have you run 20?
Exactly.
Have you done 26 yet? No, right?
No. So I've been talking, with some mentors that have done a bunch of marathons, and they say don't do 26 miles before because it's kind of that's game day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the adrenaline and the crowd, that's what gets you through the last 6.2. So they say if you get up around 20, you should be good. But again, that's for people that actually run.
I love that. Don't give them that. Save that.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to feel how fucking miserable it's gonna be until that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you in the back of a Jimmy John's right now? You're breaking up the whole time.
No, hang on. I'm on my beats. Let me change over to my phone.
It's fine, man. We'll let you go. Best of luck with it.
Can you guys hear me?
It's much
you should
better.
have been doing that the whole time.
Wait, can we give him a shout out for the Nashville performance because that was honestly impressive.
Yeah, 20 miles.
I think I texted you, Naz, in the morning. I was like, no way James is running right now. And you were like, he's been out since 5.
Grinding.
I was like, I feel like a dickhead now.
Radcliffe and Craig said I should do that same thing on Saturday night and just get shit-faced in New York
what
City.
A bold move that would be. I'd respect the fuck out of that, man.
The camera followed you.
drink 13.1 beers and promise 2 miles per mile.
Yeah,
and I
go to
gotta finish
UFC the night
marathon.
before. Why the fuck not? Go meet up with Steele and the boys.
Yes, 268,
What,
baby.
you guys are going to be there?
Oh, yeah. Be in New York.
Oh, you guys are going to be in New York? Oh, hell yeah, dude. We're going to do the Last Supper. We're going to get all the boys together. We're going to do a nice pasta dinner.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, dude.
Well, let's
We
go.
might have to go now.
I can't go.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you suck at him.
Yeah, what a fucking loser.
Well, congrats on the donations.
Yeah, don't trip on the 25th mile.
Everyone
Yep.
donate last minute. Everyone donate last minute to his GoFundMe. Shout out the
Yeah, it's gonna
Instagram,
be
James.
fun. Hey, stay tuned in. Naz0519 on Instagram. It's going to be a fucking show.
Big shout out.
I'm flying in. I land at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and it's fucking marathon weekend.
He's coming in hot.
Game on, baby. Game's
Coming in
on.
hot. You guys should see. I already pre-ordered my podium jacket. It's bright gold, fluorescent gold. I'm gonna have my fucking medal in my mouth, take a picture. I got it all planned out. All I got to do is run 26.2. Everything else.
Oh, that's
is taken
all.
care
That's
of.
That's all.
Get it done, James.
I'll leave you
Get
with
it
one
done.
last thing. What's the over under? What's your time? What do you think your time's gonna be?
Oh, dude, so I've been thinking about that. I think a great, like, if we're talking Vegas odds, and I would say
What's the over under?
They put me the over under at 5 hours,
Over.
and that's
It's going over.
yeah.
It's going
I mean,
over.
that's I
Under.
Fuck
Fuck
him.
him.
Fuck him.
Under. Fuck him.
I think I'm gonna be. I mean, I did the 20 miles in like 4 hours and 20 minutes. So you got to think that last 6.2 is going to be a battle. I don't know. It brings me right around the 5 hours. But then keep in mind, like, dude, the start of the marathon is a two mile bridge. The Verrazano Bridge, dude. It's fucking 2 miles. Like there's 5 boroughs. There's like 5 bridges. You know, there's
The
like a
sights,
whole
brother. The sights.
There's a robbery
So-
on your right on the 5th mile. You just gotta like
So
run by it.
I'd put myself around 5.5 hours, but I think I'm doing the 5. I'm feeling good. I think I'm gonna get right around.
I hope
the
you can
5.
handle
Your
the
day.
cold.
It's
I know
your day.
you've been training in the warm. I hope that cold doesn't mess
Yeah,
up.
messed up
Nah.
Brady when he came to town.
I think it's gonna help. And I'm wearing the Slight Edge shirt for the
Okay.
marathon. So
Shout out
I'm
our
gonna
sponsor.
but then I'm
1 year anniversary.
I'm also gonna wear a black Under Armour underneath. So I'm gonna have the Brady sleeves fucking rolling out there.
That's
Let's
sexy.
go.
He's got it all figured
Yeah.
out. This guy's ready to
Well,
rock.
now, what kind of socks you gonna wear? Who cares?
That's to be determined. I gotta do some laundry. My flight's at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, but I'm not looking too good for that.
Well, enjoy the experience, man, and have fun with it. All right, Jay. I'll talk to you.
Yep, get it done.
All right, boys. I'll see you guys. Thanks, man.
Good luck. Anytime.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so that was my shithead cousin. He's running the New York
Stallion.
City Marathon.
Stallion.
Could feel that energy, though, folks. Could you
Let's
not?
go. That's
Could
gonna
you
be
not
awesome.
feel that?
Oh
energy?
yeah, no, he's coming.
I'm
out
gonna
like a
feel
bat out
bad
of
if
hell.
he doesn't. I hope
No,
he finishes that.
he won't finish. He'll
There's
be
no
fine.
way he
He'll
won't.
be fine. If he gives out, I will probably never see him again. So, speaking of guys we might never see again, we'll transition on to the Boston Celtics. 3-6. Is it 3-6 now?
Yeah.
Something like that. Obviously not a good start. Not a good beginning to Ime Udoka's young NBA head coaching career. Marcus Smart called out the Jays the other day of, not passing the ball and things like that. There's a lot of buzz on and hate on this team that, people in this town seem not to like. But for me, that first of all, you're 9 games in.
Oh, yeah, new
You're
coach.
9 games in. New coach. Like, if all these people would just cancel the season, it's over. Love you, Miles B, but you're taking a little over the edge, man. This team is going to be based off defense, and the best part is they haven't even shown that yet.
No, they've sucked.
They've been horrible. So I think that's the
also a
greatest
bad
part
sign.
of it. But also you want to see, which, I say it all the time. Well, Kyrie's gone. He was the problem. You had Kemba leave. He was the problem. Gordon Hayward was the problem. And, they still keep losing. So my thing to me is, if you have title aspirations and expectations of this team with the studs of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum being the front center of this team, it's unwishful thinking. It's wishful thinking.
Couldn't they be the problem?
No, that's what I'm trying to explain.
I've always wanted them gone.
The bubble seems like it was ages ago. In the bubble, it's presumed it was Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown that fought to the point where it was like broken up.
Yeah.
And I think that's still going on.
Oh, definitely.
That's still I think there's still fucking hate.
But to my
in that,
my
locker room.
point, like, every time I see Jason Tatum play, no one's giving this. He's like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be an all-star every year. Yeah, he's a tremendous talent, but Is he a team player? Is he not trying to create isolation shots for the whole time? Is
No,
is he
Marcus
not playing pick and roll? Is he not going to the basket? Like that's what he's doing wrong. And on Jaylen Brown's forefront, I think I honestly applaud him. I think he does everything he can in terms of being the best player he can be and getting his teammates involved. On the Marcus Smart forefront, I love grinders. I love guys who work hard. No matter if it's a guy, delivering your mail or it's a guy playing on the Boston Celtics. I'm all about the grinder and hard man.
Rain, sleet,
But Marcus
snow.
Smart, this has been like an oncoming thing. Just get him the fuck off the team. I'm so done with this fucking guy. He would be.
We said to blow
but the
this
thing
shit
is,
up. They covered the coach.
The thing about Smart, though, is he's right in the comments this week.
Oh, no, I agree with that.
He's absolutely
I'm
right.
not being like, oh, this is like ridiculous and why would he even say that? No, he just like wants to. I think since he had the game winner, the game tire in the opening game, I think he's shooting like 7% from the 3-point line.
Oh yeah, no, and he's saying they need to pass it so they can be open later in the game. I mean, that's what his full quote was like about.
No, he thinks
he wanted them to be open,
thinks
so he could help them
I'm
later.
the 6th pick in the draft my year. I'm getting these extensions. I'm the heart and soul of the Celtics, like everyone says. Don't get me wrong. I love his mentality and I love things like that. But in terms of being the key parts of this team and trying to be the main focal point of this offense is just ridiculous. I'd rather see Taco Fall running from point than this guy at this point.
Yeesh.
Yeesh is right.
That would honestly be such a sick sight. Taco Fall being point guard would be unreal.
On another point, I've become a big fan of Dennis Schroeder. He's a guy who
that was quick. You changed up on that. Like
yeah,
2
but
weeks.
because he's like Rondo to me. If he's not on your team, you despise him. And I'll never hate Rondo just simply because he's Celtic. Won the championship, everything like that. But Dennis Schroeder has come in and really has set the tone. At least, in the second unit being a 6th or 7th guy off the bench. Yes, I know, Steele, you're looking at me.
It's too soon for me. It's too soon for me.
But I think he's a guy, like with Josh Richardson, too.
It's trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
Just too soon for me.
Al
I
Horford
still
seems like
fucking hate
used
that guy.
goods, like exactly what we were going to see. Rob Williams seems to keep trending up, and the guy who we look out for, who has played very well early on this season, is Grant Williams.
Grant Williams is great.
And all these, like I said in the last show, trimming off the fat, getting rid of Taco Fall, Carson Edwards, Semi Ojeley.
Oh,
guys,
fat that needed to be cut big time. Get him the fuck
but
out of
just
here.
like people like that, I thought Grant Williams could have been on that list, and he's proven early on that he doesn't just deserve to be in this league. He deserves to have a spot in this rotation on this team. And Peyton, there's a lot of these guys who are battling for rotational spots, like Peyton Pritchard, Aaron Nesmith, even Romeo Langford seeing a lot of time. Jabari Parker has even seen more time than these first 9 games. Honest Canner, he's a good locker room guy. I'll leave it at that. But
I think it's obvious, and I'm not saying anything crazy or anything, but I think Udoka has not been that good so far. It's 9 games. I'm not trying to have a crazy hot take here, but I think a lot of his roster rotations have just not been the move and not done at the right time.
He's putting out the guy. There was the other night. I don't even know the
just questionable shit.
Yeah, he's putting out 5 defensive guys when who's gonna score the basketball
at a time when they have to score the fucking he's just not. And I get that it's early and it's got to click. He's got to figure it out. I get that. I'm not trying to say
we're spoiled and we're not gonna understand until maybe midway through the season that how good of a coach that. Brad Stevens.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, exactly.
Because he couldn't take care of these divas. He couldn't really coach them around, but he could share game plan and he could share call a timeout, drop a play. This is what we have to do to get back in this game. I think that's a big strong suit of Brad Stevens and Ime Udoka. This is his first head coaching job in the NBA. He's kind of stood behind Greg Popovich and has coached on some good teams, but he hasn't been the guy. So this is kind of his first coming out party.
Yep, coming at him.
And the good part is all these Celtics fans that just. It's championship or bust. And for me, it's just a good team to root for. And if they get by a first-round series, that's fun. But you have teams like Milwaukee and Brooklyn, you just got no chance.
Yeah.
It's not as fun, though. It is, even it is fun, but, this team, realistically has no chance of making it past the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, but that's just...
So, I guess getting as far as, the Red Sox luckily did.
That's the thing. That's a whole nother
That's what
conversation.
Boston now is. We're like,
No, that's
can
what
we
the
make it to the big game ever again?
But that's what the NBA is. The NBA.
I know.
Outside,
you need to have that crazy
what you're
all-star
seeing,
team.
which is cool, is like Atlanta wasn't supposed to get there last year.
That's true.
Miami wasn't supposed to get there
Good
the year
point.
before.
Good point.
I don't see the Celtics being that team.
But they
this
were
year.
out of nowhere. Like, we've
Yeah.
had this team for
But
years
it's
now.
potentially there. I mean, it could be.
Yeah, but then you see in
a lot
the
of
past
season
years
left.
that the amount of times that was the most boring basketball I've ever seen to me. Besides just watching the Warriors be the Warriors, but the years that it was LeBron versus the Warriors for
Yeah.
4
Oh,
years
yeah.
in a row, you just knew what was going to happen. So like, why even watch?
Yeah,
that's why back to your point, MLB is so exciting because congrats to that. Hats off to the Atlanta Braves. That was awesome. That was great to see.
Shout out LCS preview. I had the Braves.
There you go.
We just want to slander people who have picks them out here. All of you fuckers were wrong. I was
You
right.
did say you wanted the Braves. the
And
whole
you're a
time.
guy. You're a Giancarlo Stanton guy. Jorge, I'm sorry. That was the
That was
first
a
ball.
bomb.
That was the first ball I've ever seen him.
was
That
a
went over their monster.
Yeah, it went out of there. It went out of there.
I've never seen a ball like that ever. That was
Even the
ridiculous.
Albert Pujols one from back in the day, that like hits the top of that thing.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't go over.
No, that was smacked.
Yeah, he cleared it.
Oh,
I would never touch a baseball again if I got taken that deep. That would have ended my career.
He won the World Series MVP because of that swing.
And then he just went like this. It was like, I got you. Let's go. Like that made it like 3-0, but that also made it like 1,000,000,000,000. Like that game ended right there.
I'm such in like the Rays and Yankees seat now because me as a Red Sox fan, just seeing like Yordi Alvarez go for like 1 for 21, and Altuve I think only had 2 hits. Bregman wasn't good offensively either.
He sucked all postseason mostly.
Just licking my chops and being like, ha ha. I'm sorry. This might be Loserville USA, but I'd rather lose in the ALCS than lose in the World Series. That's all me. That's me.
The LCS is happening, and like the Astros beating the Red Sox, and then the Astros losing to the Braves in Houston is like just the best possible outcome.
for sure.
Me. Like that was amazing.
And at least Red Sox, Yankees fans, and Rays fans. Missing Mike over there. Can all come together and be like, this is awesome.
Oh, seeing that girl like with the Houston thing, like crying, was beautiful.
And
Fuck all
Atlanta
those
was a
people.
great team to root for. They were out with their best player all season,
Best pitcher, too. Yeah, they
and
lost everything.
they had Ozuna too, who I think he had a domestic charge, so he got released. So they lost a bunch of these guys, and they brought in a couple more, and they got the Dansby Swanson, great shortstop there. Max Fried, he
Stud.
great
Unreal curveball.
pitcher.
Yeah.
Insane. Just a great tip my hat off there. First time since the Greg Maddux days. It was funny seeing Chipper Jones return to Atlanta there. That guy's a unit.
Oh, yeah.
That's a unit.
Stud.
They had Andre Jones, whatever
Yeah.
they called him.
Andrew.
Atlanta needed that.
He still looked like he could play. Oh, Atlanta
They
definitely
needed
needed that.
that.
After,
The Falcons.
the Falcons.
Oh, that's a
the-
cursed
yeah.
fucking city. They needed that big time.
That was like seeing Buffalo or... No, you know what? No. It was not like
there
seeing
yet, not there
Buffalo
yet.
or...
Not that bad.
When did you say the last time they won it? They never won it with like Maddox and Glavine.
No,
and
they
all
did.
They
That
did
was
in
the
like-
last time
it was
they
like
won
95, some shit like
something
that.
like that before the Yankees went on their streak. Well, we just got away from the NBA talk, but we were pretty done with the NBA talk anyway.
Yeah.
The Celtics are done 9 games,
Let's
and according
move
to
into
everyone else.
Steele's big weekend in
Steele's
the Big Apple.
weekend. What are you going to do? UFC 268.
Gonna go
Mike
nuts.
Steele will be
Gonna
there.
Go nuts.
Lead us
Be
in.
there. Be there. We got a stacked card. We'll start with the third fight. We got Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje. For those of you who don't really know Chandler, if you know Justin Gaethje, he's basically the Justin Gaethje from Bellator, and this fight should be absolutely amazing. Just an all-out slugfest.
Yeah, I'm going to go. This is another trending down, trending up. I'm taking Michael Chandler with the plus points there. I think he's going to find a way to... I think it's just going to be a clean knockout through the punch. I know these guys are both, stand up, tit for tat.
Tough bastards. Yeah, tough bastards.
That'll be a good one. That's probably the second fight I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I think it's one of the ones I'm looking most forward to just because I honestly I think I'm going to take Justin Gaethje just because I've honestly seen him more and know more about him and but I have no idea what's going to happen in that fight. Like they're going to go in there just slugging and it's going to be awesome.
That sounds beautiful.
It's going to be incredible.
Now, still, I'll let you get the reins on this, but this co-main event. That's
Co-main event,
my
Thug
favorite fight of
Rose.
the night.
Thug Rose.
Rose Namajunas,
Rose Namajunas. You got to love it. You got to love it. She's taking on Zhang Weili again.
communist scum.
Yeah, communist scum.
Yeah, read it like you have it written.
And if you you're literally rooting for communism. Those are her words. Those are her words.
So
not
actually,
mine.
still, you weren't there. It was in Jacksonville, and I've been to a couple UFC events, but seeing her win because she wasn't supposed to win that fight.
No.
and I think she got it with the headbanger.
Yeah, she kicked her in the head.
Kicked her in the
Kicked
head.
her right in the head.
Knocked her out. She went down, started crying. I think I started crying. Like there was so much.
incredible.
There was so much emotion to that fight. Well, you see the WWE and it's all like a sitcom and soap opera. That's what it seemed like. It was like, oh my god, she did it again because I think she beat who she beat the. Was it
Andrade, I believe.
Yeah, and
She beat Joanna twice for the title.
But Thug Rose, she did it before, and she like got down, on her knees and like was going nuts, and she's just thanking the whole crowd for their support. I'll whether win or lose, I'm such a diehard Thug Rose fan. Strictly out of hate, I'm all on Thug Rose here. I think she gets the job done again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Thug Rose is gonna kick her ass again.
Absolutely.
Take it down.
Because she wants it because she looks at her like literally like as trying to copy. Like she said that. Like she was like, this is like Rocky IV for me. Like she was like, this is like what that means to me. Like she was like, my family, my grandparents. Like she was like, we don't like them. like literally, these are her quotes. No, like I'm not like this is what she said.
That's a lot to fight for.
Yeah, like that's what was going on in her head, and like then she kicked her in the fucking head, and it was awesome. Let's get back to it, and we need to do it again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Then we got the main event. We have Kamaru Usman, who is, up until this point, seemed simply unstoppable.
Yeah.
And he goes up against Colby Covington, which was like, Covington and Usman won probably fight of the year at 2019. Unbelievable fight. Went 5 rounds. Basically went the entire distance. It's a TKO with like a minute left, I think. Covington had a broken jaw in the second round, fought through it.
Yeah, Covington
And
is
just eating it up.
Beastly.
Yeah, no, just eating punches the entire time.
Through a broken jaw.
Yeah, he's got so much showmanship.
fuck?
He's big Trump guy. Those press conferences, he's just gonna talk shit the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
For me, I think Kamaru Usman's such a bad man. Probably, I think right now is the top with obviously Khabib, like not in play anymore. The pound for pound best fighter in the world.
I completely agree.
Kamaru Usman. I think this is going to be a cakewalk. I think he's taking this personally. I think this is going to be a second round knockout. I'm willing. You know what? I did it 2 weeks ago, and I'm doing it again. Kamaru Usman milk challenge. Milk me.
The milk, dude.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Second round knockout?
Uh-oh.
No.
just a win.
Yes, yes.
No. He's got to win. It's just a win. You can't do ifs and buts. It's a milk challenge. You either win or you don't.
Yeah, fair. No, I agree. I think Usman, Usman was talking about kind of like going out like Khabib and like rumblings of like on his time and stuff like that. And the reason that got brought up with him was because they brought up Chimaev. Like they were like, you see that guy coming up, like you worried about him, and he was then like Usman was like, we'll see if that guy gets there, and like, well, I'm still here and shit like that. I need that fight. Give me Usman versus that guy, like, right now.
Usman who? I'm sorry.
Chimaev.
Oh, Chimaev.
Like, give me that now.
No one wants to fight Chimaev right now.
Dude,
you're
they're
talking
saying,
about the Swedish guy.
Yeah,
right?
they're saying Nate Diaz, that guy would murder Nate Diaz. That guy will
Murder him?
massacre.
Yeah, murder.
No one's murdering Nate. Nate Diaz
In the octagon. In the octagon.
No, I mean, like,
out of
he'd
the
be in a-
octagon, Nate might strike back. I don't know.
I didn't even.
Oh, no.
I don't think you can kill him ever.
No, like he bleeds every time, but like that
guy would beat
whole
the brakes out of
octagon would be painted red by the
Yeah,
end.
but no, Chimaev, Usman.
He'd be loving it. He'd be licking it.
Oh, he'd be liking it. I'm not saying that like he's not going to take.
But he would not win.
Man, he would not win.
When Usman wins, I will do something in the tiger suit. I don't know what I'll do, but I don't know if you saw his presser today. Electric fits on both the fellas today. But Usman came out in a nice cheetah suit. Beautiful cheetah suit.
Love it. Nigerian
So I'll
nightmare.
do something in the tiger suit. What do you want me to do? I could go streaking.
For
I
what?
can wear it down.
You're not streaking. You didn't do it last week. You're not going to do it this
We'll
week.
post it like tomorrow or something. Give us replies.
I do have the milk challenge. I will pour a gallon of milk on my head if Kamaru Usman loses, but he's not going to lose. Not a chance. Not a chance in hell. Steele,
In hell.
We're gonna run it to you. You got any plans in New York City this weekend? What are you gonna do?
Well, we might have to go see J Nazz hit the finish line. That might be the Sunday
that sounds
activity.
Horrible. That sounds
Hey,
horrible.
that's supporting friends.
Let's
Sorry.
Let's go. Wait, he's my cousin. I don't give a shit.
That's being a bad person. You're just saying on air you're a piece of
do
shit.
you understand how many people are gonna be at that place?
Yeah.
Oh, millions and millions.
Yeah.
Like it's the Boston Marathon, like on
I've been there too.
on steroids with like more steroids.
Yeah.
It does sound like
It's called support.
Anton. It sounds like Anton's worst nightmare.
Yeah,
well,
he doesn't want to be in front of
his.
that many
Yeah,
people.
no, I'm different than
He didn't
that.
even want to be in front of us tonight. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, we're fine. But other than that, I don't know. We're
I'd
gonna
find
see.
a nice strip club if you can. Those are always
Probably go
fun
out in the
New
town
York.
Friday night, get there, and then I have no idea. We're gonna try to take it a little easy for the beginning of Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, then it's
Where
gonna
you
hit
guys
the then it's
staying
gonna
in
hit
a
the
hotel?
middle
Where are
of
you
Saturday.
staying? Want to give the hotel a shout out?
It's a Hilton Hotel in like Newark, New Jersey. That's all I know.
Oh no. That's the way to. You don't want to stay in
No,
town.
I would like
Yeah.
you're saying about like not going to the like. I'd rather just stand in that crowd than be like
Yeah, honestly.
in there.
Yeah.
for, like-
Honestly, you guys should just go to Hoboken. But I mean, we can talk about that after. But
let's do
that's
it.
a better place to go. Folks, motherfuckers. Folks,
I'm dying.
wanna thank you
I
guys.
need a drink so bad, please. I'm like, I got caught in mouth or something.
You want to do the conclusion? You want to wrap it up?
Are we wrapping it up?
Yeah, we're wrapping it up.
Oh, good.
Yo, you
Let's
should wrap it up.
Oh, I'll wrap it up. I got to get a drink, folks. So thank you for tuning in. It was a hell of a show.
Yeah,
Great guest
Ricky
tonight.
Radzik killed it.
Ricky Radzik, thank you. We're 98.5.
Great advice.
Thank you for sending you all.
No guests
sending
next
these
week.
guys. No guests next week. So get ready because
Unless
we're going to really let
Unless
it rip
it's the
next
mayor.
week. True. If we should take the mayor. Imagine if we were just like, you know what, we don't want you anymore.
Yeah, can we
Anyone
put you?
who's the
Can
mayor.
we? Yeah, can we put you on a wait list?
Yeah. That's all from Steele and Nazz. Big shout out to Slight Edge and Fitness and Performance. Also, it's a 1-year anniversary. Craig Kelly, best in the business. You got to switch up our ad read. Anton said he's going to get in there. I talked to Craig today. He still hasn't gotten in there. One of us needs to get in there. I think it's going to be me. I think Magic Mike is the clear choice, but I think it's going to be me.
I am out.
Saturday, free classes I think he's doing for his 1-year anniversary, so maybe I'll see you there.
That's all from Steele and Nazz. Be safe out there, everyone. Be safe out there, Mike Steele. Don't fall in garbage or whatever the hell is in there.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Rats,
New York,
cats,
New York.
AIDS.
Get a nice slice of Sabaros.
Just great Italian cuisine.
All right. Goodbye, folks.
Peace.